Hello all, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to find the factorial of a number. So first, we will see the question, write a program in Java to find the factorial of a number. Now, what is meant by factorial of a number? See, the factorial of a number is the product of all the integers from 1 to that number. Okay, and it is denoted by the symbol and exclamation mark. So here I've given you an example. Here I'm saying 3 factorial is equal to 1 into 2 into 3 is equal to 6. So the product of all the numbers from 1 to that number. That's what the definition says, isn't it? Here, from the 1 to that number. So 5 factorial is 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5. So that is equal to 120. Okay. Some of the constraints here is that we are not going to consider the negative numbers when we are calculating the factorial of the number. And we have to also remember that 0 factorial is equal to 1. Now let us look at an example to find the factorial of 5. Okay, so here if I say, I told you the definition is from product 1 to 5. So if you see this, there is a particular pattern that is being followed here. Okay, so there is a particular pattern which is being followed here. It is 1 into 2. Okay, 1 into 2 is 2, and then I am doing 2 into 3, which is gives me 6, and 3 into 4 is giving me 12, but then I have to multiply the previous values so that I get the full factorial of 5. So also one more thing you need to observe is, if you see here, these numbers have been increasing by 1. So this is definitely a pattern problem, and it definitely we need to use one of the loops, either the for, the while, or the do while. So when we come to the coding part, we will actually look at this particular loop, how it works. So if you see here, okay, if you see this, I can just put these numbers, that is these numbers 2 into 3 into 4 into 5. I can name this as I. Okay, this I can name it as I, and this whatever answer I am getting when I multiply, I can call it as fact. Okay, and then what is here, the 2 is actually being multiplied here, isn't it? 2 into 3 is actually giving me 6, and now 6, this answer is being multiplied here. 6 into 4 is giving me 24, and what have I named this 2, 6, 24 as fact? So I write here fact. Okay, so I write here fact into I. So this is the logic of this particular program. Fact into I is actually going to give me the factorial of the number. Okay, so let us also look at the algorithm of this particular program. Algorithm means they are the steps, definite steps that we write to come to a solving the problem. Okay, so just before we start doing the coding is your writing the program in the programming language is known as coding. So before that, we have to just whatever I had explained as the logic, I have put it in a set of steps, definite steps, so that is easy for us when we start coding. So I'll just read out the algorithm here. We have step 1 start, step 2 input a number num, and then step 3 initialize fact equal to 1, I equal to 1. So since we are doing a product, we have to initialize it to 1. We cannot initialize it to 0 as we did in the earlier video of finding the sum of the series. There I said sum is equal to 0. But if I put here 0, you can imagine the factorial will be what? I'll tell you at the end of this video what happens there. Okay, repeat step 4 through step 6 until I equal to num. So this has to be in a loop. Okay, and fact is equal to fact into I. It can be any loop here. It can be a while loop, do while loop, or a for loop, depending on the programmer's choice. And then we have fact is equal to fact into I. This is what I told you in the previous slide. Okay, and I is equal to I plus 1. I need to update it because I keeps incrementing. I showed it to you, and then we have to print fact. Okay, and then we stop this particular steps here. Now we will go to the BlueJ editor. I'll as I type the program, I'll explain you the different steps what I have put in here. Okay, I've opened the BlueJ editor. Now we will create a new class called as Factorial. Okay, and here I double click on this Factorial, select all, delete. Okay, and then I start with the BlueJ program. Okay, here I've just given the starting this one here. I've just given this. So I have a class called as Factorial. I have declared public static void main string args. So here I've given the same example what I explained in the previous slides. Okay, so class Factorial public static void main string args. So usually we use the scanner class and we can accept the value from the user. Here in this program I'm going to assign a value. Okay, I've declared a variable n and I'm calling it is equal to 5, and then I need a variable fact, okay, to store the factorial of the number, and I'm initializing it to 1. Okay, and then I'm also having this variable I. Okay, I've declared the variable here itself. Now in the for loop, okay, I said for I is equal to, it has to, the product has to start from 1 to that number. So I write I equal to 1, I less than equal to 5, and then I put I plus plus. Okay, I'm updating I. And now I have to find the factorial. I said fact is equal to fact into I. Okay, this much is the code. Now we have to print the factorial. So I will say system dot out dot print ln I'll put, okay, factorial of. So factorial of, what is the number we are finding? We are finding n, isn't it? So factorial of n, and then I put a space. Okay, so I can just give a \t so that it gives me a note. So \t is, and then where is the fact stored? It is stored in this variable fact. Okay, so I close this, I close the main function, and I close the class. Now we will compile and see. Okay, it says class compile, no syntax errors. So we'll just see how the output is. Okay, so here, yes, so here I'll just go here, void main. Okay, so factorial of 5 is 120. Okay, hope you understood this program. So as I told you earlier, what happens if I'm going to put this fact equal to 0? So this you have to experiment. You have to take these tips and do when you're doing in your school labs also. Please check out these kind of different variable values, so that you know that this kind of errors can, or this kind of logic problems may crop up. Okay, so here I have this. Yes, so I say void main. Okay, see, factorial of 5 is 0. Yes, so it is not calculated it. So that is one error. So now I put fact equal to 0. So we will compile this. Once I've compiled it, I'll just run the program. So when we run this program here, you get factorial of 5 is 0. Yes, why this happens actually is, you see here, when I put fact equal to 0, 0 into I, any value multiplied by 0 will give us 0. That's the reason whenever products are being to be done, we have to put it as 1, and when we have sum, we can put it as 0. So if you watch my previous video where we have sum of series, I've initialized the sum to 0. Whereas when we are doing a product problem, we have to initialize it to 1. Hope you like this video. If you like, please share and subscribe. Thank you.